Life is pretty crazy, friends. And if we're honest, we think we have more control than we really do. There are so many things that are outside of our control. There's so many things that just happen to us. And maybe it's coincidence, maybe it's destiny, maybe it's fate, maybe it's God pulling the strings for us to get to where we need to get. But ultimately, we are not in control of everything. We make our decisions, and our decisions have consequences, and they get us down the road to places that we want to go and sometimes places that we don't want to go. But in life, things just happen. You know, my wife and I, we were at the state fair a couple weeks ago, and we rode a ride that was a crazy spinning ride. And so it had multiple axes, and you're in a cage locked in just like this, and you're spinning around while also spinning around while also spinning around. And it was just a crazy experience that we would lock ourselves in this ride that had to be 30 years old, from a company that just pulled up and set up a carnival-like atmosphere, traveling all over the country, a rusty bucket of a ride that's shaking and jittering all over the place. And we locked ourselves in that thing, and we go through the ride, and it's crazy. It goes forward, and then it goes backwards. And the whole time I look over to my side, and my wife is laughing hysterically, having the time of her life. And I'm holding on for dear life, closing my eyes, praying that the ride will be over with. And in the moment that I released my control over the situation, that I surrendered to the fact that I'm on this ride, and I might not make it off this ride, but while I'm on it, I might as well have the time of my life, everything switched. I started to have so much fun on that ride. I was able to open my eyes and take in all of the fair that was beneath us as we're at the peak. I was able to laugh and smile and let my stomach and my chest drop. I was able to fully embrace the moment only because I surrendered. And the truth is, in our lives, the separation between absolute misery and pure joy is really just surrender to the idea that you aren't always in control, that you aren't always pulling the strings, that you don't always dictate the things that happen to you in your life, but you always are in control of how you respond. It's crazy that the separation is that small, but the truth of the matter is it is. It's a tiny, tiny, tiny little separation that separates us from being miserable in this life to us having so much joy and being able to ride the ride and experience the journey with all of those people that we love and accomplish those dreams, able to be present with the failures of this life and reach for all of those successes. My friend, I don't know what you've experienced in this life, but I do know that surrender will enable you to be present for so much more. Surrendering to the moment. Surrendering to this moment in time that God ordained to be so, that you might be here. That you might experience all of the joy, all of the sorrow, all of the pain, whatever it is that sits in that moment, that you might sit in it and surrender to that moment and make the choices that follow it. And those choices might be what define you.
These are your thoughts, dictator. This is the hope of God set free. These are your thoughts.